Hi guys, once you download the files, you have to copy them to a USB thumb drive and then plug it into Kronos. Then select your thumb drive and copy the folder to your internal drive using the utility and copy. Just select your internal disk and paste. When it's finished, just go back to your internal drive and open the containing folder. And I will delete this bonus folder because it's not necessary right now. Then first you have to load the programs. When you open the PCG file, you'll see there are two different types of banks. As you know, one type is the EXI program and the other one is HD1. So if your banks UCC and UDD are already empty, you can load them directly. Or if you want to load them to a different location, you have to open them and select them individually like this. Say load, pick your place. I want them to be loaded into user CC bank. Say OK. When it's finished, go up and do the same thing to the other bank. In fact, I load them directly to user DD, so I say OK. After you load your programs, just go to a 24K folder and load the sequencer file. And then go to the sequencer mode. You see it says samples not loaded. There are two things you can do right now. If you select load required samples, it finds them automatically for you, but you have to do that each time you restart your machine. And if you want them to be loaded automatically, just go to global mode. And in KSC Autoload tab, say add KSC and find the 24K user bank KSC. And I'll do the same thing to Thriller. I go up and find this file and add it. And when you go back to sequencer mode, still it says samples not loaded because we didn't do the auto load. Or we didn't restart the Kronos. So right now I'll just go and select load required samples and say load. Now it works. And if you go back to Thriller folder, you'll see that there are two options. If you have the first generation Kronos or the Kronos X, you have to select this folder. And if you have the new Kronos, you have to use this folder. I'll use this one because I have Kronos X. And I load the file. And still it says samples not loaded because I didn't do the auto load or I didn't restart the Kronos. So I'll just go and select load required samples. Now it works too. For Thriller I also added an easier mode. It says auto. And there's also the manual mode. The only difference between them is in auto mode you don't have to deal with karma scene changes or switches, so you can just focus on playing the keys. The sequencer does that for you. And one thing you have to do before playing these sequencer files, you have to go to global mode and select the controllers and scales tab. And in order to use the foot pedal, you have to assign it to foot pedal CC4. And if you want to play the chord pads with your Midi keyboard, you have to assign the lowest white keys of your keyboard to chord pads here. And your Midi keyboard's Midi channel should be 1 for 24K and 16 for Thriller. And also you should find the lowest key on your Midi keyboard using the octave buttons. And now we are ready to play. If you have any questions, feel free to ask, and if you have any suggestions, leave a comment. And don't forget to subscribe and follow. Have fun!